Well, good evening and happy Monday. It's Monday. Little confused on what day of the week it is. I don't normally do streams on Monday. But like I said last week, I finished up my first term of school this week, or this past week. Got all A's and decided, since I have this week off before the next term starts, I said, screw it. Let's do a celebratory impromptu session on Twitch. Originally, we were discussing a watch party. However, I've been having some issues with the Amazon watch party connection with Twitch. I've never done it before, but I must be doing something wrong. And in order to prevent this from becoming a debugging session, I guess, for lack of a better word, where I try to figure out what the hell's going on, I fell back to Plan B. And Plan B is I wouldn't call it episode 0, but I wouldn't call it episode 1 either. Kind of the middle. Episode 0.5, if you will, to the game that will be taking Battle for Middle-earth's place when we wrap that up. I do anticipate that we will wrap that series up tomorrow. We have, a few territories left aside from the Black Gate? I have no doubt in my mind that we will clean house tomorrow and finish that up. So that leaves Tuesday open for a new game slot, and I really gave that some thought. And I decided on a second playthrough. I don't know if I want to call it a full-on playthrough, because in my head, this is a series that could be kind of an ongoing series. It could be something that we play for a little bit, and then we pause and, do something else for a little bit, and then circle back whenever we have some free time or whenever we're feeling like it, because it is a very grand game in terms of scale. Didn't read the message or the game thingy here in Twitch somewhere. It's down there somewhere. We will be doing an intro to the Elder Scrolls Daggerfall. And Daggerfall is the second installment in the Elder Scrolls franchise. You might be familiar, or more familiar, I should say, with the fifth installment of the Elder Scrolls franchise, Skyrim. This is the predecessor to Skyrim, as it's in the games in between it, them being Morrowind and Oblivion. It's a whole franchise. It's a great franchise. Great franchise. It's been going on for almost 30 years now. I believe the original Elder Scrolls game, Elder Scrolls 1, The Arena, came out in 1994. We're coming up on 30 years in 2024. It's not the only thing, that is not the only thing turning 30 in 2024, by the way. But, yes, we will be doing Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall, and I chose 2 instead of 1 for a reason. The reason being is that I've played just about every Elder Scrolls game there is, at least in the main entry. I've played all 5 of them. I will never say that I've beaten them, because technically I haven't, as is with, so that being said, if you feel bad because you've never beaten Skyrim, don't worry. Most people have never beaten a single Elder Scrolls game in their life, because these games are just so deep in lore and side quests and stuff like that. It's just a staple point in Elder Scrolls at this point to not actually beat the main quest. But anyway, I chose Arena over Daggerfall I chose Daggerfall over Arena because I'll give Arena credit when credit's due. It laid the foundations for every fucking thing that came in its sequels. Be it Daggerfall, Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim, all of them. This game, Arena, laid the foundation for that game and all games to come in the Elder Scrolls franchise. And Bethesda has stuck with its continuity. They made some creative decisions in 1994 in terms of location, maps, lore, races, all those things. They laid the foundation for that in 1994, and I'll be God, almost 30 years later, they're still sticking with that continuity, so good on them. It's a great entry to the Elder Scrolls franchise if you want to see the godfather of all Elder Scrolls games. However, it was made in 1994. Graphics are obviously not anywhere near what we're used to by today's standards, and at the same time, and I don't mean this in a bad way, Arena's kind of shallow in terms of gameplay and narrative. The guilds are there, the religions are there, the races and all that stuff, it's all there. All, again, continuity across the board. But the actual story itself is kind of flat. Even compared to like other Elder Scrolls games, because I know like no one really plays in Elder Scrolls games for the main storyline, but at the same time, this one, of all the 5, this one kind of falls the most flat. And not in a bad way. It kind of feels like Zelda. And put your fingers away from the keyboard, Zelda fans. I'm not saying Zelda is shallow. I'm just saying that when you think of Elder Scrolls, you don't think of Zelda-like gameplay, and that's what Arena was. You were going to dungeon, finding a piece that encompassed, you had to find like 8 pieces of a staff or whatever. You had to find the pieces in a dungeon, go through the dungeon, find the 8 pieces, assemble the staff. Hurrah. That's very Zelda-like, but Zelda does it better. I don't know how, but Zelda does do it better. And then a few years later, Daggerfall comes out, and it is, I wouldn't say it's the perfect sequel, because they made some creative gameplay decisions that I don't necessarily agree with, but at the same time, it is a superior game in terms of replayability, in terms of immersion and role-playing aspects across the board. So that's why I chose to omit Arena from this gameplay, or at least for now, altogether. We might circle back to Arena. Actually, that'd be kind of fun if in the future, like maybe 6 months before Elder Scrolls 6 is released, we play Arena and just do a compare and contrast. That would be actually really fucking cool. That'd be a great time to do Arena. But for this gameplay, I chose Daggerfall for that reason, and because, I gotta be honest with y'all, Daggerfall is unlike anything I've ever played before. It is so rich in terms of just endless possibilities. And I know you can say that about almost every Elder Scrolls game out there, but they do something in this game that future installments slowly but surely just decline in. The big one being is that you're not the chosen one in this game. You're not special. The NPCs in the game don't treat you like you're a god or something, like they do in, say, Skyrim. They don't run around calling you the Dragonborn and stuff like that. They don't treat you like you're some mythological chosen one. As far as anybody in Daggerfall knows, you're just a nobody. Nobody gives a shit about you, and they treat you as such. Your reputation is not set by some chosen one, special person status. You're nobody. And if anybody treats you any differently, or if any of the population looks at you or treats you differently, it's because you made them do that. It's because the choices you made had an impact on the world around you. And that's something that future Elder Scrolls games just don't have. They don't have that. I take, for example, the College of Winterhold in Skyrim. That storyline, as fun as it is, doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. The NPCs around you don't treat you any differently, despite the fact that by the end of the quest, you're the Archmage. You're the most recognizable wizard in all of Skyrim. You would think that the Jarls at least would treat you differently or look at you differently, but they don't. That quest And that status of Archmage doesn't fucking matter. But things like that do matter in Daggerfall. They do impact how the NPCs around you talk and treat you. And I think that's so cool. It's so immersive. And it just makes for, in my opinion, a much better RPG game. An actual role-playing game. And I'm not saying that Skyrim is a bad game. It's not. It's a great game. I've pumped thousands of hours into Skyrim. But there are just little things like that that just kind of, like, why didn't you do that? What stopped you from doing that? I know why. It's because Bethesda knows that people are going to mod the fuck out of their game, so why bother doing it? Why bother paying somebody to do it when others will do it for free? Like, that's why they're doing it. That's why they didn't do that, at least. So that is a bit of a brief overview / rant regarding Daggerfall and why I chose Daggerfall. Now we got to get to which version of Daggerfall am I playing, because there's 2 versions of it, and there's a couple ways that you can install it. And this is not a tutorial or anything like that. I'm not going to go deep into the installation process and stuff like that. But there is 2 versions of Daggerfall. There's Classic Daggerfall and Daggerfall Unity. Classic Daggerfall is exactly what it sounds like. It's the original 1996 and all of its bugs and glory game. Resolution, aspect ratio, FPS, graphics, the whole 9 yards. It's exactly the same. There's 2 ways of installing it. One is you can get it for free off the Bethesda website, and the other one is you can get it off of a launcher. I say a launcher, not a specific launcher, because technically, as of today, which is April 25th, 2022, it is available on the Bethesda launcher. However, by May of 2022, the Bethesda launcher will not be a thing, and all games on that launcher will move to Steam. So, depending on when you're watching this, it will either be available on the Bethesda website or on a launcher or Steam. Give or take what day you're watching this on. I prefer the launcher method because it is more streamlined, if that's the route you want to go. Arena and Daggerfall both use DOSBox, which is kind of like a virtual environment to launch older games and play them on modern machines. And if you download it off of the Bethesda website, you kind of have to have some knowledge on navigating DOSBox. So that creates a bit of a learning curve. Whereas Steam and Bethesda Launcher, they streamline that process for you. So that's how you would get classic Daggerfall. Then there's Unity, which is the version I will be playing. Sorry. Unity is a open source, it's an open source community-based version of Daggerfall. A group of individuals that are not related to Bethesda whatsoever have come together and ported the original Daggerfall game into the Unity game engine. And the reason why I chose that version, that Unity version, is because it allows you to play Daggerfall more smoothly on modern machines. You got to remember that Daggerfall came out in 1996. The average resolution for a CRT monitor in 1996 was about 640 by 480. Compare that to modern machines now. The average resolution for a computer screen in 2022 is about 1080p. Unless you're using mine, which is 3440 by 1440. So the resolution for Daggerfall played on a modern machine without any tweaking will cause the pixels to be much more noticeable. Unity kind of tweaks that and makes it more user-friendly on modern machines. So I chose that version. Also, it allows modding, which is really cool. I'll go through some of the mods that I have installed. But that's why I chose Unity. I've played all 3. I've done all 3, actually, installation processes, and Unity for modern computers is the best one. So if you want to play Daggerfall, just Google Daggerfall Unity if you're using a modern machine. So that really is what that's kind of my intro. Long-winded intro. I usually don't do that. Usually sorry, my mouse just died. Usually I try to talk about gaming news and stuff like that. But I knew that this intro was going to be a little long-winded, and that's why I kind of opted out of that. So we could spend just a little bit of time talking about what is Daggerfall and why I chose it, and what version I chose. So Daggerfall, just like any other Elder Scrolls game, allows you to, create your own character from races, specific races that live within Tamriel. And it also allows you to choose that character's, class. Is it a warrior? Is it a mage? Is it a ranger or whatever? We're going to be doing all of that today, and maybe a little bit more, depending on how long this intro goes. So I think I've gotten the bulk of that out of the way. So now we can actually get the game up and running, and then I'm going to kind of talk about some of the tweaks that I made to Unity to make it look a little bit better. And then we'll get into the actual character creation itself. And then what we'll probably end up doing is doing at least the first dungeon, and then maybe a little bit more after that. But again, I don't really have a set timeline for today, because I don't have, a ton of schoolwork holding me back, so that's always nice. But yeah, as I sit here and ramble on, I was trying to get the game up and running. So, here we go. First part of Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall. Alright. If you have Unity installed, this is what you're going to see right out the gate. This is the new part. This is the stuff that they've added for Unity, specifically. Things like this. And I'll kind of go through, not all of it, but I will go through some of the stuff that I personally chose to do in order to, make the game all around more playable, at least in 2022. You're going to want to make sure that this always show this window option is toggled. Absolutely. This right here, without this turned on, you will not be able to tweak any of these settings or add mods. So you certainly do want to make sure that this is always toggled by default. Vertical sync, this just syncs the game's FPS with your computer's FPS. That's kind of a personal preference. So is this one, swap health and fatigue. Classic Daggerfall, your health is green and your stamina is red. And that can be a little bit of a weird thing for people who've never played the original Daggerfall before. So it might be best to, if you're used to more modern gameplays, I would suggest toggling this, but it's up to you. Invert mouse, exactly what it sounds like. Up is down, left is right. Mouth smoothness, I have it toggled on. I haven't really noticed a difference. So, again, your discretion. Left-handed weapons. Guys, I'm left-handed. I'm naturally left-handed, and I don't see the point in having this, but it's nice. You are reading this right. Player nudity. And this is something that this is the big reason why I was hesitant about even playing this game on Steam to begin with. So, here's your discretion. Viewer discretion. This game does have random fucking nudity that will pop up out of nowhere. Not frequently, but it does happen. Like, for example, you can go into a temple where religious people are. You could open up a door in that temple, and lo and behold, pixel boobs. Just naked lady right there. I have searched high and low for mods to remove that element in the game. Unfortunately, none exist, because apparently Daggerfall players don't stream. Either that or they're not afraid of... Yeah. Anyway, player nudity. I keep this toggled off for our streaming purposes. It does not remove nudity altogether. What it does do is it prevents your character from being nude in your character sheet. If you remove armor in the game and you had this toggled on, your character would be completely nude. But having this toggled off ensures that that doesn't happen. So that takes care of the big surprise nudity if you're not careful. However, it doesn't omit that thing entirely. So I will be doing my best to ensure that even if it does happen, it's not going to be frequent and it's not going to be continuous. I will turn around and get out of that building the moment I see something like that, but I cannot pinpoint exactly where it's coming. So bear with me on this. I will do my best to avoid it. That's the big one. Viewer discretion is advised. Even though my channel says that specifically, I'm telling you now, viewer discretion is advised. Click to attack. Click to attack is exactly what it sounds like. In classic Daggerfall, what you would do is you would hold down either the left or the right mouse, and then you would swivel your mouse across the pad, and that would be the direction that your sword swings. Do note that the direction in which you swing your sword does not impact whether or not you actually land a hit or how hard it is. It's just a mechanic. I choose to just have click to attack on so that you can just, instead of, swinging my hand around for 2 hours, I can just click to attack. Again, personal choice. SDF font rendering. I think that's supposed to help the text. That's all I can say about that. That's the general stuff. A lot of this stuff is kind of, up to you. I would recommend checking out the advanced section too, because there's a lot of other things in there that are kind of nice to have. Like bows, draw and release. That was not an option in the original Daggerfall. It wasn't. Neither was toggle sneak. You had to hold down the sneak button if you wanted to sneak. Interface, you don't really have to deal with that much, except for, I would suggest, arrow counter, countdown quest journal, these three things right here. They're pretty self-explanatory. But enhancements is the big one. You don't have to deal with this stuff as much, but the in-game enhancements is really interesting. I won't go through all of these, but if you install Unity, check out the enhancement section, hover your mouse over each of these options, and it'll give you a description on what they are. The big ones that I will point out is advanced climbing, which allows you to climb not just up and down, but left and right, as well as enemy infighting, because it's just kind of fun to see that happen. In original Daggerfall, classic Daggerfall, you could be in a dungeon and open a door, and there would be a bat, a rat, and a spider. And they would all just start bombarding you with attacks the moment you open that door. Enemy infighting creates it so that if a bat, a rat, and a spider were in the same room together, they would actually be fighting each other because they're not allied together. I like having that one on. It's kind of fun to watch. It's fun to watch the enemies, go at each other. But the rest of them... Oh, this one. I do want to point out this one. Guild Quest Player Selection. When you join a guild, quests are given to you at random. The higher you are in terms of ranking in a guild, the more different quests you will have at your disposal. Meaning that when you are a low-level member of a guild, the likelihood of you getting the same quest over and over and over again is much higher. This right here prevents that. It allows you to essentially select which quest you want to get instead of it being random. I usually have that on for personal playthroughs, but I think for our playthrough on here, I'm going to toggle that off. I'm going to let fate decide what quests we get. Everything else though, video, accessibility, you don't need to worry about that type of stuff unless you're deep into that kind of knowledge. And then last but certainly not least, we have the mods. What mods do I have installed? A couple of them. They're just little enhancements to the game, like convenient clock. It'll show me what time of day it is and what month it is, as opposed to having to check all the time. It's nice to have. Convenient quest log, you know, organizes my quests a little bit better than the default game. Roleplay realism, that adds some modules that we can toggle on and off to make the game more interesting and immersive. Persistent dungeon, that in classic Daggerfall, if you were in a dungeon and you left and then turn around and went right back in, all of the enemies, all of the loot, and the location of the quest item would respawn in different locations. Persistent dungeon prevents that from happening. The other two big ones that I wanted to point out, I know I have been going on for so long about this. It's been almost 30 minutes and we haven't even started yet. We're almost done with the intro, I promise. I just really wanted to talk about the mods. You'll notice, we are almost done though, I promise. You'll notice in this selection of mods, you see the word dream over and over and over again. This is a mod that essentially enhances the visual layout of the game. So instead of the game being so clunky and pixelated, it kind of freshens things up and makes it look cleaner. Don't get me wrong, don't misunderstand. I'm not saying that this is going to look like Skyrim. It's not going to be Daggerfall with Skyrim level graphics. It just enhances the cleanness of the layout. It makes it look cleaner, neater, much better from a UI perspective. It is performance heavy, so you should know that in advance. That is a performance heavy mod. So it'll still look like a game from 1996. It'll just look sharper and cleaner. And the other mods, I can't really go into explaining without actually showing you what I'm talking about. So I'll cover those when we actually get to it. And that, I think, is it. Intro-wise, that covers all the mods that I wanted to... Good God. That covers all the mods that I wanted to talk about. I know this has been a really long-winded intro, but I just really wanted to get the point across as to why I chose this game, and why I chose Unity. Because you should know, even if you've played Unity and you've never messed with mods, this game is going to look a little bit different than your version. So I think that's all that I have in terms of intro. Those are all the mods. Well, not all the mods, but those are most of the mods that I have installed. Again, I'll cover the others when we get to it. But yeah, we can finally get into it. Our first of many episodes regarding Daggerfall Unity. Let's get into it. right there is your first little, well, this whole layout in general should be your first indicator that this is a bit of a different layout than traditional Daggerfall, to say the least. This looks so much cleaner, so much nicer, and I think it looks amazing. I'm ready to get into it. Let's start anew. Alright. As with every Elder Scrolls game, we start off with our character creation. A couple of things to note about Daggerfall, though. Orcs and Imperials are not races in this game. They were not races yet. In fact, I don't think Orcs became a race in terms of playability until Morrowind, which is the next installment. So, what we have available to us is the Nords, the Bretons, the Redguards, the High Elves, the Wood Elves, the, what is this? The Khajiit, the Argorians, and the Dark Elves. So, what race do we usually want to start with? Unlike future installments, the race that you choose doesn't necessarily have a huge impact on the overall game. Usually, if you choose a Nord, you might have a higher resistance to cold or something like that. And those tweaks are in there. It's just not as prominent as it is in future installments. So that's not to say that your race doesn't matter, but it's just not as, they don't spell it out for you like they do with future installments. So I've done a handful of playthroughs. The one that you really kind of want to focus on, actually the four you should focus on, are either the Dark Elves, the Bretons, the Redguards, or the High Elves. For me personally, I like Dark Elves. Dark Elves hail from the province of Morrowind. You are a part of a tall, dark-skinned people known to be extremely strong, intelligent, and quick. They are extremely versatile in all matters of skills, and well known as warriors and mages. That, to me, sounds like a pretty good choice. So I think that's what we're going to stick with. I like the Dark Elves. So we'll be them. Race. Select thy race. Select thy character's gender. Look at that. Only male and female. Shame on you, Bethesda. Shame on you. I don't think this matters. I know I said the same thing about the races, but the genders, I'm pretty sure, don't matter at all. I could be wrong, though. So I think we could leave it up to fate. We could just, flip a coin or something. I don't know. Do I even have a coin? No? A better prepared streamer would have something. Oh dear, it looks like the camera. Dang it. The weenie cam fell. I'll have to fix that later. Technical difficulties with the weenie cam. You know what? Female. We'll go with a female character. Why not? Now, if you've played Morrowind, this probably looks a little familiar. You can either choose from a list of possible classes, or you can or the game can generate a class for you based off of characters or questions that you answer. This right here is pretty time consuming, and we've already been going for 35 minutes as it is. So I'm going to, and we still have quite a bit to go through before we even start the game. So I'm going to just choose from a possible selection. Now I'll give I'll give Daggerfall credit when credit's due. They went crazy deep on character selection. There's a lot. There's, mage and warrior and sorcerer, but even they've got weird ass selections like acrobat, or a monk, or even like a barbarian, or, you know, a knight. All of these classes have, you know, certain value to them. You know, you can check them out too, click on it. And it tells you, you know, the skills most important to a mage are, you know, such and such. Same thing with a healer. Problem with this is that the class system, the pre-built class systems in Daggerfall are fundamentally broken for a couple of reasons. And it makes the game unnecessarily difficult. Way more difficult than it needs to be. It's been said that Daggerfall is unforgiving to new players. That usually stems from the fact that these pre-built classes just they're just not good. Like, in theory, like, the skills and everything are fine. It's the behind-the-scenes stuff that really breaks it. And I'll show you what I mean by that, because thankfully they have an option called Custom Class. And that's what we're going to choose. Always choose Custom. Okay. This might be a little intimidating at first, at, you know, base value. But don't worry. We'll go through it painfully. This stuff right here, it's pretty common. You know, strength, intelligence, willpower, agility, endurance, personality, speed, and luck. We'll tweak those here in a little bit. Primary skills, major skills, minor skills. This is where we're going to start here. This is a huge separation from games like Oblivion and Skyrim. Especially with Skyrim. You know, in Skyrim, you level up not based on how many creatures you kill or enemies you kill, but by the skills that you use. Which is standard throughout Elder Scrolls. That's not different. The big difference is how you choose which skills are going to level up. In Skyrim, you can choose any skill you want. If you want to be, you know, a knight, you just wear heavy armor and you use a sword, and those will automatically upgrade those abilities. If you want to be a mage, just focus on magic. But in Daggerfall, in order to level up, your primary skills, or these three skills right here, are going to be the best way to level up. Your major skills are the second most important way to level up. And your minor skills have a little bit of an impact, but not great. And then everything else you can still use. It just won't impact your level up at all. So this right here is fundamentally important. What skills are you going to be using in your playthrough the most? Those are the skills that you want to be putting in your primary and major, because those are the skills that are going to help you level up quicker. For me, I've given this a lot of thought. I kind of want to be somebody who uses weapons but can also rely on magic. Kind of like a battle mage, but not exactly like a battle mage. Kind of like a better class for battle mage. So that to me means that our primary skills should focus on probably combat. So that's what we're going to choose for our primary skills. These are the three skills that we will be using the most. And we want to set them as our primary skills because that will help us level up relatively quicker. If you click on your primary skills, it just lists every possible skill. I'm not going to go through all these. I'm not going to explain each and every one of them. But since we will be doing a bastard child of a warrior and a mage, one of our primary skills should certainly be a long blade. We're going to be using swords. That should definitely be in the primary skills. Our second thing that we should use, critical strike. Now, don't mistake critical strike with what you might think it is. in 96, Critical Strike wasn't having 2.0% increase or 2 times the damage or whatever, like it is in future games, you know, where you sneak, draw the arrow, release, and because they didn't see you, it does more damage. That's not Critical Strike. Critical Strike, my understanding of it is the likelihood of actually landing a hit. So we want Critical Strike to be in our primary skills because we want that us landing hits to actually impact our level up. Now, our third and final primary skill is actually going to be Destruction, our Destruction magic. So when we cast fireballs or lightning or anything like that, that's going to be a primary skill, and that's going to help us level up quicker. That's what we want. Those are our 3 primary, all combat-based. The second 3, the major skills. We have some options here. You want dodging. The ability to dodge attacks and have that impact your level up. You want that in there. That's a major skill, for sure. The other one, the second one, and this is my personal choice, Mysticism. And I'll explain why when we get into the actual game, why I chose Mysticism. And the last one, very, very fucking hard to pronounce. Thaumaturgy? I don't fucking know. Thuma. I'm gonna call it Thuma. Thoma. I think this has something to do with magic. I'm not entirely sure what, though, so I will have to do research on it. I just know that almost every character creation walkthrough suggests having this as a major skill. So I will do more research on that and get back to you on what it means. Now for our minor skills. The minor skills that we will be using frequently, but not enough to, you know, we want them to impact our level up, but we don't want it to be more important than the others, the other 6 listed above. First one is medical. Whenever we rest and we heal ourselves, that's our medical skill. The other one, running. That's pretty self-explanatory. Next one, I might be a bit of a controversial choice here, but restoration. And the reason why I say controversial is because some people would suggest having restoration up here in major or primary. I've played through this game dozens of times. Not completely, but I've played through this game plenty of times, and I've used destruction magic more than restoration. So I'm keeping it as a minor skill, but I don't use it enough to justify putting it as a major skill or a primary. The next one that I usually choose is etiquette, and that impacts how, you know, your personality, your reputation. How much do people like you? Your ability to talk to people. And unlike other Elder Scrolls games, the ability to talk to people, it's important. You'll see why. Next one, mercantile. That's basically selling shit. And I'm going to tell you something right now. We're going to be selling a lot of shit, and we are going to get screwed over hard in the early stages of the game. Those damn merchants, they love upselling me, and they love screwing me over when I try to sell them shit. Last one, alteration. Kind of an odd choice, but Daggerfall is so much easier if you have mystical abilities. If you can use magic, it's so much better. And as we get to those points in the game, I'll point out why. Okay, so those are our skills. Now, everything else, all this other stuff right here, archery, axe, backstabbing, blunt weapons, centaurian, dragonish, giantish, they're nice to have, but they're not, they just don't, it's not for our character. It's not, they're good stuff, but, and we'll still be able to use them, but we don't necessarily, we won't be using those enough to justify putting them in any of these 3 skill sets. Okay, now we can get into modifying this stuff. Everything by default is set to 50, and you can up this stuff. So like, for example, I can set my strength to 60, but notice that the 0 here went to -10. That means I now have to take 10 points away from any of this other stuff right here. Strength is important, but it's not as important as you might think. So we're going to set it to 70. Actually, we might set it to 65. Intelligence, that determines how much spell points you have. So we are actually going to boost that up a little bit. Probably set that to 60. Willpower is your ability to resist magic. From the research that I've done, this has little to no value whatsoever. So we're actually going to dump this down to 30 to 25. Agility, I'm pretty sure if I remember right, this one's kind of not really needed as much either. So we can dump that down just a little bit to 25. Endurance. Endurance is your ability to actually hit things. And how much, like, extra hit points you get per landing a hit. So we do want that. Personality, doesn't really matter. We can leave it as is. Speed. We want that bad boy up to, like, 75. Yeah, we want to up that bad boy. We want to up that one pretty good. Actually, we'll dump that down to... This is where it's going to get a little weird, because I kind of have to fine-tune this. Just a wee bit. Actually, luck is kind of not super vital in this case. I might just do that and bring personality down to 45. Strength at 65, intelligence at 55, willpower, that's all good. Endurance at 70, no, I'll leave that at 70. Yeah, okay, I think that's good. So strength impacts how much we can carry and how much fatigue we have and stuff like that. So it actually doesn't impact as much as you would think in terms of like how likely we are to kill something. It's important, but not like super important. You know what I mean? So 65 is pretty good. Intelligence, it could be higher, but we have a pretty good... Actually, you know what? I'll dump that down to 40. Boost that up to 60. There, that's good. We've got a good pool of spell points. These two are kind of weak, but that's fine. Endurance, it's at a good point. Personality, it's fine. Speed, we're pretty fast. That's good. We want to be fast. We want to be able to dodge shit and run. And luck, from what I've been told, luck has little to no impact on the overall game. It does not impact what kind of loot you're going to get. It's very... not really important. Okay, so now let's get on to the intimidating part, which is skill advancement for class and max hit points per level. I'm going to be real with y'all. I've done research. I don't fully understand what max hit points per level means. All I do know is that if we up this little dagger goes up. And what that means is the higher this dagger is, the harder it is for us to level up. So if our dagger is sitting here at average, that means it will take us an average amount of time to level up. If it's up here at times 3.0, it's going to take us 3 times as longer as it normally would to level up. And same thing for easy. It takes us 0.3 times as long as it normally would to level up. So in theory, we want this dagger to be around average. If it's down here at 2 easy, then we're just going to be leveling up like crazy. If it's up here at 3.0, then it's going to take us for fucking ever to level up, and we don't want that. So there are some things we can do to impact that. The max hit points per level, which I don't fully understand, and there's advantages and disadvantages. Now, this is where you can get deep into character creation and history. You can add special advantages like acute hearing, adrenaline rush, athleticism, bonus to hit, expertise in, immunity, increased mastery, rapid healing, and so on and so forth. These are special abilities that your character has. There are 2 that I usually rely on. The first one is expertise in, and it allows us to our character to become an expert in either axe, blunt, hand-to-hand, long, missile, or short blade. Since our long blade is our primary skill, we want to expertise in long blade. Notice that the dagger went up a little bit more. Since we are far better at using long blades, that makes the game easier for us. Therefore, it's going to take us a little bit longer to level up. The other advantage that we want to have, and this is even if you're building a class that doesn't rely on magic, you want to increase your mastery by 3 times. So whatever your intelligence level is, you want to increase your spell points 3 times your intelligence level. So for example, we're at 60, and we are going to be increasing our total spell points 3 times 60, which should give us about 180 spell points. Even if you are not a magic-based class, 3 times int mastery in spell points, do it. Trust me, do it. Okay, so now our dagger's up here a little bit. We need to bring it down a little bit. We want to be right around here, average. And we can bring that down by, you probably guessed it, disadvantages. Where we can add certain things that our character is weak to or forbidden. So for example, we could forbid our character from wearing certain types of armor. We could forbid our character from handling certain weapons. So on and so forth. I usually do critical weakness, not to disease or paralysis, but usually a critical weakness to shock. See how much that was brought down? Just adding a critical weakness to shock. That just means that if any magic person casts a lightning spell at us, we're kind of shit out of luck. Because we're pretty weak to that. Let's see. The other thing that I usually do is I usually add forbidden weaponry axe and forbidden weaponry blunt. Because I've never used an axe or a blunt weapon in any of my playthroughs in Daggerfall. So that'll about do it for our character. See, we're down here just a little above average, but that's okay. Oh, we need to name our race, or we need to name our class. Let's call it Adventure. That's a good class name. And reputation doesn't really, I don't know anybody that's fiddled with this reputation thing, but be my guest. I'm personally not going to. So I think that does it. Let me just review this stuff real quick. Strength, intelligence. Well, yes. Okay. I think that's all fine and good. Okay. We're not done yet. I know. Bear with me. We can make two options here. We can fast start by automatically generating your character's background, or we can choose our character's career path by answering 12 important career decisions that will influence character background. I'm going to actually imply that we choose our character's career path, because this not only does it, some of the choices that we make will impact some of the starting items that we have, but one of the cool things about Daggerfall is that based off of the questions or the answers you give to these 12 questions, Daggerfall is going to automatically write a background story for our character. Like, it's going to give our character a background history. Like, how we got to where we are. That's pretty cool. So I like to do that. 12 important questions. What school of magic have we been studying the longest? We need to focus on destruction. That's our primary skill. So destruction. What motivates us into a life of adventure? Riches, knowledge, helping others, fun, and fame. These answers might impact your reputation amongst certain types of people. So I'm going to say helping others. In between formal study, you spent your time with socializing with aristocrats, practicing acrobatics, swimming, sparring, learning economics, learning street smarts. I think this might give a boost in like a certain skill based on what you choose. I'm actually going to choose practicing acrobatics. Since childhood, you have saved 100 pieces of gold, a favorite book, a pearl, cuirass. Whatever you choose here will be in your inventory when you first start the game. I think I'm actually going to choose that. In gratitude for services rendered, the Emperor gave you over 200 pieces of gold, an ebony dagger, a ruby, a book, a silver staff, a suit of armor. Once again, whichever you choose will be in your inventory. Used to be that you want to pick ebony dagger. And I think I'm still going to stick with that. Ebony dagger is actually a pretty useful thing to have as an early weapon. So ebony dagger it is. As you grew older, you received additional magical training in, again, School of Destruction, Restoration, Illusion, Alteration, Thuma, and Mysticism. Again, we already did School of Destruction, additional magical training, and we'll actually do Mysticism for this. As a child, your nickname was Rabbit, Quicksilver, Monkey, Scrapper, or Guppy. These actually impact certain acrobatic things, so like Rabbit bumps up your jumping skill a little bit. Quicksilver makes you run faster. Monkey, I think, is climbing. Scrapper, I don't know. And Guppy, I think, is swimming. Quicksilver. Again, we want to prioritize our speed here. We want to be able to run and dodge quickly. So Quicksilver it is. You are friendlier than most with the Savage Harpies, Glorious Dragons, Infernal Daedra, Primitive Centaurs, Mischievous Imps, little bastards, Bollock, Spriggans, I don't know what that is, Immodest Nymphs, or Simple Giants. This will determine if this will increase your ability to, pacify certain creatures. So, essentially what it means is that whichever creature you choose, you have a higher chance of making them non-hostile towards you, so they won't just outright attack you. I've seen this happen a couple times, but it's few and far in between when it actually happens. So, this doesn't really matter. Just being realistic. We'll pick Mischievous Imps. Why not? Those mischievous little bastards. Of all the disagreeable types, you have the most personal hatred for scantimanious priests, stupid peasants, those dumbasses, immoral assassins, diabolical wizards, power-mad robber barons. Priests are just fuckers no matter where you go. Diabolical wizards, like Voldemort. Power-mad robbers. Yeah. Stupid peasants. There's no such thing as a stupid peasant. Immoral assassins seems like a pretty good choice. I don't know what this has an impact on, to be told, but we'll just do that one. You are intimate friends with a monk, a rogue, assassin, a warrior, a mage. Again, I don't know what this actually does. So I just usually pick one at random. I've never actually chosen a monk before, so let's choose a monk. What god, if any, do you worship? I'm going to show my hand here a little bit. None. You have the most trouble resisting poison, getting along with others, resisting magic, fighting without, avoiding diseases, staying awake and alert. As you might have guessed, this adds a negative impact to your character, so if we choose resisting poisons, you know, it's harder for us to resist poisons. Getting along with others, talking to people. I've been told that staying awake and alert is the best answer to give for this, because everything else kind of is a little too powerful in terms of a negative impact. So staying awake and alert. So here we have our reputation. So commoners, our reputation is a little bit higher. Merchants, nobility, and underworld has not changed at all, but scholars and commoners think more highly of us. This is important because they'll be more likely to chat with us and help us out when we need it. And that's the end of the 12 questions. Now we need to name ourselves. I suck at coming up with names. Thankfully, Unity has a randomizer, so let's see what we've got. Lilith? Aldane? Lilith? Sure, you know what? That's a good one. We'll call her Lily. That's actually a good name. And now we can choose thy face. Yes. Unlike future installments, you can't just customize your entire body from start to finish. You can only choose your face. Well, that's kind of cool. Let's see what we have at our disposal. Oh, nice. Let's see. I kind of like that one. Let's go with that one. Okay, I promise we're almost done here, but now we can add even more points to the stats that we chose at the very beginning. The best that we can get is 14 additional points, so I'm going to keep rolling until we get 14. And that's actually not bad. Our strength went up to 75. That's a pretty good start. We'll up intelligence a little bit. Speed, we want to bring that bad boy up to 80. Endurance. Luck, that doesn't really matter. We'll dump everything else into endurance. I'm actually going to save this roll real quick and see if I can get a better one, but I don't want to spend another 30 minutes trying to find the perfect stats. So, let's see, 75. Oh, this is actually much better. Look, our strength is still the same. Our endurance and speed are all already at 80. Let's see what we can do with this one. Let's bring that up. Let's bring endurance up to 85. Our speed up to 85. And we have 4 points to just kind of dump wherever we want. Let's bring our personality up to 50. And the rest of it can go into luck, even though I said it has no overall benefit whatsoever. I think this is about as good as we're going to get. A strength of 75, an intelligence of 65, and see right there, 195. If you do 65 times 3, I'm sure that's 195. But at the end of the day, this is probably as good as we're going to get. so that actually didn't take nearly as long as I thought it would. Cool. And finally, we can dump some extra points into this percentage base right here. What this will do is this will help improve. So this percentage sign that you see right here, as of right now, Destruction, Critical Strength, and Longblade all have about 30% impact on our overall level. So in order to get from level 1 to level 2, using Longblade, Critical Strike, and Destruction make up about 30% each of getting us towards that level 2. But we can dump 6 points into any of these 3 to up that percentage, and I'm actually going to dump everything into Longblade. Same thing with dodging. Actually, I might back that up just a little bit and put 2 into Thuma. And then minor skills. We can dump most of it into medical. That'll be good. So yeah. As of now, Longblade and Destruction make up about 35% each of impact towards our level up, which is good. That's pretty good, actually. So... Oh god, I forgot about this. Player reflexes determine the overall speed of the game. If you pick very high reflexes, the monsters will move and attack quickly, forcing you to be quick with the controls. Very low means the monsters will move and attack slowly, allowing you to adapt a more cautious and thoughtful playstyle. Your character will advance a little slower with lower, and advance a little faster and higher. I leave it at average. Average is fine. And now comes the moment of truth. Is this good for us? Yes, because it's been a fucking hour and we haven't even started the game yet. This is why I'm doing this now. Could you imagine me doing this on Tuesday? Next Tuesday? Like, we'd be here a while. So this is why we're doing all this now. This is episode 0.5 of Daggerfall. Episode 1 will officially begin next Tuesday. So, an hour later, and so much talking on my end, we can finally get into the actual game itself. Elder Scrolls 2, Daggerfall. Let's begin.
400 years after Tiberseptimus' reign, the beginning will meet the end, and the bloody circle will close at the Empire of Tamriel. The unworthy heirs of the Septim dynasty have allowed the bonds of the Empire to weaken and crack. Uriel Septim, the Seventh, cannot repair what his ancestors ignored. The provinces fight among themselves like neglected children, drunk with rebellion. One indomitable power hides itself, but not forever.
Excuse the gloom, but none may know of this meeting. The nature of my trouble is darker still. Over a year ago, King Lysandus of Daggerfall died honorably on the field of battle. He was as loyal a subject, ally, and friend as you are. I did grieve for him, but his spirit does not rest. With a spectral army, he haunts his former kingdom, crying for revenge. I do not know why a good and loyal man would be so cursed. Perhaps you can find the answer and close the marble jaws of oblivion, bringing peace to his soul. I ask this as your emperor and your friend. I have one lesser request. Several years ago, I wrote a letter to the Queen of Daggerfall. it never arrived. The letter was of a sentimental and personal nature. If you find and destroy that letter, I will be grateful. Now, my champion, rest well this night, for tomorrow you sail for the kingdom of Daggerfall.
Oof. You wake and look around the room. Some hours ago, you were in a boat en route to Daggerfall. A storm of supernatural strength boiled over the Illic Bay like a like a something creature. Your boat was destroyed, but you managed to swim to the churning water through the churning water to a promptly rock. Wow, I can't fucking read tonight, Jesus. You swam to a rock. There you found a cave and escaped the fury of the storm. You only had just lit a small fire when a mudslide sealed you within. Your fear of being buried alive calmed when you saw the corridor leading out of the cavern. Perhaps there is a way out of this cave after all. Once free of the cave, you can begin the Emperor's quest. The Elder Scrolls Daggerfall has a tutorial that can be active in the game. Nope, we don't need that. You want to receive early artifact quest. Yep. Okay. This is it. Welcome to Daggerfall. Again, this is using the Dream, D-R-E-A-M, mod. So this game looks this game probably looks a little bit different than what you may be used to. We have to get out of this cave. But the first thing we want to do, you want to save. You want to save. Holy crap, do you want to save? Because this game does not autosave. It does not autosave for you. Therefore, you should always save. Save, save, save. We will be saving a lot in this game. Or at least we should be. Now the first thing we want to do is we want to check our inventory. Here's our lovely character. Hello, Lily. I know the weenie cam's kind of covering it right now, but this says weapons and armor, magical items, clothing and miscellaneous, as well as ingredients. Looks like we have some starter stuff. Looks like we've got an iron cuirass. We'll go ahead and equip that. And we have a longsword and our ebony dagger. So we'll go ahead and equip both of those. Single-handed weapons, you can do dual blading, and you can alternate between hands. So that's pretty good to have. And then, here's our character. There was a mod that I had on called Viewable Skill Progress, and what that allowed us to do, I know you can't even see it with the weenie cam. I'll have to fix that. There's a tab over here where my mouse is that says level 1. It tells us what level we currently are. And if we click on it, it says progress made to the next level, 86%. So we're 86% of the way to level 1 or level 2. And if we click on our skills here, we can see that in order to rank up our Longblade skill, we need to use our Longblade 28 times. We need to have 101 critical strikes, and we need to use destruction magic 15 times. And again, that makes up 34, 31, and 30% or 36% of what we need in order to get to level 2. So essentially, this right here has a 34% impact on this progress right here. So the more we use our primary skills, the higher this number will become, the progress made to the next level. And then, you know, the lower, like the minor skills, will have a smaller impact on this number right here. That's kind of how the leveling works in Daggerfall. Not very different than other Elder Scrolls games, but... God damn it. The dog cam fell again. I don't know what kind of... I'm gonna have to get a better tripod because that thing fucking sucks. Anyway. That's generally what it looks like. Now we can actually get into our game here. Look at our sword and that badass. What are we even using right now? There's our ebony dagger. So that was the long sword. There's an entrance right here, or an exit. I don't know if you guys could hear that. There it is again. Oh! There's a rat. Kill this little fucker. Oh, he dead. Nice. Okay, so... doesn't look like the rat has anything we can use. However, there is some treasure right here. We can click on it. 68 pieces of gold. And this right here is our encumbrance, our weight, like how much we can carry. We are currently carrying 22.12 kilometers of weight out of 112. So not too bad. It's not a lot, but we'll be able to increase that a little bit as we get further into the game. So make our way down this corridor. Oh shit! There's a fucking bat. I am so sorry if you... I'm sure you heard that, but my fucking leg just hit the top of my desk. That is something else that I should have mentioned long before now. This game has a very creepy atmosphere, especially when you're in the dungeons, and things will just pop out of nowhere, and the music doesn't help either. So I will jump from time to time, and I apologize for that in advance. So let's see if we can finish up. Oh shit! An imp. This little fucker doesn't want to die. Come here, you little shit. There we go. Finally. See how much damage he did to my health? Look at that. He did a lot of damage. We're gonna have to, you know what? I'm gonna have to turn that music down. It is way too loud. See if I can do that real quick. Oh. Oh no, that's the sound. Let's bring that down a little bit. There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay, so... Oh god, what the fuck was that? So I'm gonna head back this way. And I'm going to hide. And then we can actually rest. We have an option here. Rest for a while until fully healed. Loiter for a while until fully healed. Sweet. Okay, now we can make our way back. Down this way. We were just in there. This ambiance is really fucking creepy. What's in here? Oh, another rat. Hey, dude. Nice. Hey, let's go down this way. Oh god, hello. That was a thief. Looks like she got some stuff on her. So let's go ahead and just take all this. Let's see, we have a leather. Yes, yes, yes to all of this. These numbers right here indicate, like, you know, this right here is a iron cuirasses, and it has a +7 to armor, and that +7 is represented right here. So that applies to everything that we're wearing. So, in theory, we want to make these numbers as high as we possibly can. However, you know, we, starting out stuff like that isn't going to the default stuff is not going to be very good. But she did have a saber, and the saber has a 3 to 12 damage. Her longsword has a 1 to 15 damage. Probably, I'm actually gonna take that away from you. And we're going to equip that bad boy. And then this chain buckler, kind of like a shield, gives us a +1 to armor. So it's a nice little defense to have. Oh yeah, look at this. Isn't that lovely? Look at those beheaded fuckers right there. This game kind of goes all out in terms of unnecessary graphics. So I warned y'all at the beginning of this game. Viewer discretion. I mean, it's not like a shocking amount or anything. It's not like, you know, we don't see anything like, oh god, hello dude. Hey, take that. What do we have here? Iron helm. Nice. Leather greavers, actually. Yeah, let's equip that. Iron lifts. Pauldron. 3 to armor, 7 to armor. Absolutely, we're going to equip that. Anyway, like I was saying, you know, the graphics, you know, in terms of like, oh, hello. In terms of when it comes to like the violence and stuff like that, it's nothing new. It's just, or, you know, it's just a little over the top. And that's fine. Oh, there are enemies nearby. I can't rest right now. What's in here? Can I rest now? Cool. Let's actually go ahead and save real quick. Haven't done that in a while. God, man. Respect to these mods. Oh, look, here we go. Remember that mod I was telling you about? Or that option to have in-game enemies fight each other? That skeleton over there is trying to fight that bat, but the bat is being a little too smart and is currently out of reach. He's just gonna stand there. We have some spells. However, these are not very good spells. Don't worry, we will, we'll talk more about that later. Let's see if I can sneak up behind the skeleton. Hey, buddy. Oh, God. Hey, buddy. There we go. Skeletons are kind of a pain. God dang, are you kidding me? An iron bow this early in the game? That's actually kind of impressive. Oh. Oh, you want to crack at me? Okay. Fair enough. We need to get out of this dungeon. Now, I actually know where the exit is, but at the same time, this dungeon is actually a really good opportunity to get some... Oh, hello! Jesus Christ, it's a bear. This first dungeon that we're going through is usually a pretty good... It's a pretty good time to just kind of go through everything. Like, really comb through this dungeon and see if we can find stuff. Oh, look at that. Jesus. See what I mean? Like, this fucker was just waiting. He was waiting for me on the other side of the door. What an asshole. Oh, God. How are we doing on encumbrance? Looks like we don't really need anything off of this guy, do we? Grievous? Leather Grievous? They both do the same thing. So, no, not really. Oh, hello. Oh, thank God. I was... Jesus. Are you kidding? A stale right... Oh my God. They're giving me everything. This is amazing. Oh, wow. We can't use that. But we can sell the shit out of it. That's exactly what we're gonna do. Once we get out of here. I need to... What am I doing? I need to rest and heal. And save. Always save. Hello? Oh. Oh, we're all the way... Oh! We're all the way up here. We were down there. Now we're all the way up here. Ooh. Not exactly what I wanted to do, but I'll take it. Oh God, there's another rat. Oh, do you guys hear that? Another... Oh, rat just died. I know exactly what's in here, that's the problem. Oh God, it's another imp. Ah, crap. Come here. Oh, shit. Cool. Alright. Look at that. There's the exit. That's the exit to the dungeon right there. We are not going to be doing that just yet because... There's still some stuff in here worth looting. So what we'll probably end up doing is getting out of this dungeon, and then we'll call it a night. That's actually a pretty good place to stop, actually, once I get out of this dungeon. Because we don't want to go... Oh, God. I hate these fuckers. They suck. Oh my God, he's... Run. Run. He is going to kill me. Oh cool, we got a level up. Sweet. Shit, what do we want to do? We should probably bump our strength up, actually. I know I said it's not like the most important thing in the world, but it's so tricky because strength is not what you think it is. You would think that strength determines, like, how strong your attacks are. I think endurance does that more than anything. Endurance, like, improves the strength or the overall power of your attacks. Good God, man. This guy's putting up a fight. Come on, one more hit. I feel like if we can get one more good hit. Nope, 2 more hits. 3 more hits. Come on, one more. Are you kidding me right now? Are you seriously? How in the hell? I hate these skeleton guys. They're unnecessarily strong. That should not have been nearly as complicated as it was. Now imagine what that would have been like if our strength and endurance and speed wasn't as high as it was. Like, we would have been dead. Oh God. Hello. What you got for me? Nothing? Well, you've got stuff, but... Where are the enemies at? shit. No, 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 no. Hate the skeletons. Okay, so that's the exit. We want to keep going this way. See if we can find anything. I mean, we've snagged a lot out of this dungeon. We've got more than I thought we would. But there are still some unexplored corridors that we should definitely check out. Like, oh, hello, like this guy. Hi. See? Chain grievances. And we're wearing leather. So we should totally equip that. I promise you, your luck has nothing to do with the loot that you find. You little shit, you were just waiting for me. Okay, there's nothing in there. Ooh, what about in here? And a bear. There we go. Whee. Oh. Oh, we've been in here before. Okay. Okay, we came in this way. There's nothing over... Oh, wait, yes there is. There's just nothing in there. Heal. Save. A door. Oh god. Oh my god. Oh, this is not good. Oh, not good. Where'd he go? Oh, shit. He was right behind me. You little... Whee! Swing, swing, swing. And pray to God we land a hit. There we go. Now we need one more. Oh, man, we may not. Oh, thank God. Can I heal? Whoop, wrong button. There we go. Okay, not bad, not bad. Nothing in here. And now we're on the other side. So we went from that staircase to the staircase. Now let's go this way. Is there anything in here? Looks like some treasure. Some gold. Nice. Okay. Go the other way, and that should be it. Once we go through this side of things, that should be the end of this dungeon. Nothing else to explore. Oh god, hello. It's an orc. Cool. Okay, I think that should do it. Actually, let's check our progress. Oh, wrong button. 33%. Not bad. Okay. So how do we get back up there? Well, we could go the way we came from, which I think was going down that way. However, we can also hit this little lever. Whee! And that's so much easier. Yep. Back at the top. And here we are. Be able to save right quick. And here we are. Okay. What time is it? 8:05? Not bad. I think that's actually a pretty good stopping point for now. That way we're not getting too deep into things. So we'll go ahead and transition ourselves out of here. Yeah, see you on the other side. Oh man. I'm gonna have to work on that weenie cam thing. Okay. I understand that this was a bit of a weird session. This was more of like a, kind of like what I said at the beginning. You know, this was meant to be more of like a celebratory type thing for getting through my first term of college. However, I was having some issues with the watch party, which is what I wanted to do originally, but because of the issues that I was having with the watch party feature, I decided to opt for plan B, which is why I always have plan Bs. And that is to, you know, kind of introduce the next series. And that's what this is going to be. Daggerfall is going to be our next series. It will take place, or it will replace Battle for Middle-earth, if I had to guess, next Tuesday. Not tomorrow, but the following Tuesday. We will wrap up Battle for Middle-earth tomorrow. And then this series will take its place next week. And this was actually a really good entry to it. It allowed me to just kind of talk about the series, talk about the mods, create our character, and get through the first dungeon without that taking up like a full Tuesday's stream. Now when we get to it next Tuesday, we can just get right into it. Do a little refresher or reintroduction for those who weren't here on Tuesday, because this usually isn't my my day to stream. So I'll do just like a brief refresher on things, and then we'll just get right back into it. But it won't be nearly as intensive as this episode was. So I'm glad I actually did this today instead of doing it on a Tuesday. Next Tuesday, I suppose. So thank you. All that to say, thank you. Thank you for joining me tonight. I really do appreciate it. I understand that this is kind of an off day, so we didn't have like, you know, Babaruska and Ashley Rue and all of them. They weren't able to make it today, but you know, that's totally okay. They weren't, you know, like I said, this is kind of like an off day, so it's not part of my normal schedule. So I wasn't anticipating a big turnout or anything. But if you were here, I appreciate it. If you're watching this in the future, you know, I appreciate you too. And if you like what you saw on Twitch, you can follow on Twitch. As you can see, we've got a goal going on over here. We're trying to reach those 50 followers. And we will have a reward or a celebration when that actually does happen. And if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for that. The YouTube channel is meant as like an archive for all of my previous streams, because Twitch doesn't keep everything forever. So if you want to see anything that I did in the past, or maybe you're discovering me for the first time on Twitch and you want to see things that I've done in the past, you know, YouTube's the place to do it at. That's where all my old content goes. So you can follow the YouTube channel right down here. And, you know, all you YouTubers out there, if you want to see all this happen live and in person, follow me on Twitch. And last but certainly not least, we have a Discord server filled with all sorts of things to do and chat about. So if you want to get to know myself, as well as Babaruska, Ashley Rue, and Papa Bear, who sadly weren't here tonight, which again is okay, you can join the Discord server. All those links should be in certain spots on each of the channels. So yeah, I think that'll do it. This is episode, what did I call it? 0.5 for Daggerfall. Thank you again so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, the series will take place starting next Tuesday. Tomorrow, I will be back at 6:30 p.m. Eastern for my final video on the Battle for Middle-earth. And then Thursday, same time, 6:30, we'll keep doing LEGO Star Wars. So, see you all tomorrow. Thanks again, and have a great night. Bye-bye.